We're live on the internet.
Say it, Curry. Say it. Say your disclaimer.
And welcome to another episode of Let's Grow Now. You're joined by Andrew/Frank.
Good evening.
Andy RC.
Evening, everybody.
My little Tony.
Bonjour.
And if you're sad, Tony, just think about how much that little bugger shat all over your floor.
Wow.
Just as much as you shit in your toilet and in your bed.
Think about how much that little
shit.
bugger shat all over your...
You deserve that.
I love you, buddy. Hey, man, as long as you're still here, I haven't had to put you down.
I'm still here, just about.
Can I just say how sorry I am, Tony? Yeah. And it's so sad because it's like losing more than a family member, and sometimes.
Yeah,
it's losing a family member you actually like.
Yeah. And do you know why that is? Because they can't talk.
Yeah.
They're the opposite of Jack, but with just as much poo.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, this episode is dedicated to two people. The first one is Wally, who's not a person but a dog. Rest in peace.
Thanks, man.
Little moment silence. And the other person, the man of the hour, Andrew/Frank for Mini Air Show 5.
Well done,
Survived!
Frank.
Hooray!
We're also joined by everyone's favourite, Curry Kitten.
Hello.
And I'm Bright Until I Fly. Please read the disclaimer.
Any views expressed by any guest on this show are personal and may not reflect the views of the hosts or participant of the show. Also, ignore everything the hosts say because they don't know what they're talking about. Thank you.
Oh, you didn't say, but especially Andy RC this time.
Well, I was giving you the benefit of the doubt today, but you're on probation. Let's put it that way.
And
right.
For the record, I didn't touch that child unless you count me smacking him one.
Wow.
Didn't he come up and touch you though? Did you say?
Little.
So he's the one. He's the one.
Who did we meet? Who was it? Tony, the quiet guy who told him to say that. He's a northerner. All the northerners are against me.
He was a northerner.
I wonder why that is, Jack.
So just to be clear, your story to the police is the child was the sexual aggressor in this particular case, officer.
The thing is though, he'd never get in trouble because if you I was the same. I watched the whole thing back, and my friend Phil was like crying the entire, like laughing all the way through it. If you go back and watch the live episode, because the mics were so sensitive, you could hear the little lad whisper in MJ's ear, "Can I say Jack touched me?" And then MJ goes, no, and then he just.
I'm like, what kind of show are we running where A, that's okay, B, everyone finds it funny?
Yeah. Well, it's funny but terrifying. I just hope that lad is going to be okay when he grows up.
He's fine. I'm the one that's.
I hereby revoke my earlier suggestion of an all-day LDO at Mini Air Shows of the future.
Good, because this is what will happen. Paul was like, "Sorry, Jack, it was my fault." Little fucker. Anyway, me and Tone, did you find your fireworks, mate?
I've been doing too much other things to worry about. I haven't even looked at any footage. I've not done a lot.
Well, Frank,
really.
This is for you, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, Frank did it. It feels weird now doing a podcast and we're all not sat together.
I'll tell you what I didn't like though. Is like because it was one long table. Sitting at one end, you couldn't hear the other end. So at one point, Frank asked me a question. So I'm turning around to answer Frank. Jack's hand appears on my head and tries to force my head over this way to the microphone. Because last time he grabbed my head and did stuff, it didn't end well for us. So I wasn't keen on him doing that sort of thing again.
I just got a horrible picture then.
Jack is smoking the firework.
Yeah, man. Big ups to Frank. that was you. You're really good at all. What are you organising next? Is there gonna is there gonna be a 6?
Well, he's drinking still. So, but is it a happy drink this time or a sad drink?
There will definitely be an event at Popham Airfield on the 9th to 10th of May 2020.
But you may or may not be involved in it. But it doesn't matter. We'll be going though, right? Even if it's not organised by yourself.
I may or may not be involved. It may or may not be a mini air show event. I don't know. It will be decided when the cabal meets at the set date in about just under a month's time.
What's cabal mean? Is that a southern word?
Secret organization.
Ah,
it's a code name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, I got a little glimpse of it. I got taken into like a little trailer, and there was like loads of post-it notes everywhere, like a beautiful mind. Have you ever seen that? Is that what it's
Frank,
called?
show the side of your cupboard. We know where the post-its live. They're up there.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
There they
That's
are.
how it works.
That's how it works.
What? So it might not be called mini air show then, if someone else organises it, or is it not? Is it going to be called massive air show?
It may have to be.
Yeah.
Particularly large air show for reasons that I won't go into at the moment because nothing's been confirmed. But
yeah,
there could be some interesting things. There will definitely be some interesting things happening. But yeah, I don't know. We're in discussion at this point.
Well, anybody who because I've like made a little video together somehow, even though I didn't take any footage, and anybody who I've shown it to privately for Jack's safety has said that's amazing. I'm coming next year.
That's what we want.
Yeah. So yeah, they were like so that's a positive. I think if we get footage like that out. And people go, wow, this, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we need to do more advertising for next year, like more public, because it was a lot of people.
It was people,
from the scene.
People.
Yeah, we need to get.
I still think there was more people. I thought there was a lot of people last year, but there seemed to be more people this year. So I think it just every year
we're building it. We're building it. But yeah,
that's it. We are building it. There was people standing down the ends, like staring, and I was like, "Go on, you can go up there. Go on, go and have a wander. It's free for the public to go and have a look." So quite a lot of people walked up there and had a look.
Gotta say, Andy, you're doing the video the right way. There's me walking around with a camera like a sucker. Andy's just like, can people just send me their stuff and I'll just edit it. Brilliant idea.
That was Jack's idea, actually. And at first I thought, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. I did the only thing that's mine in that video is I managed to take a bit of DVR whilst we were sat like in the tent, and I was using the rapid fire, and amazingly it picked up the image perfectly, even though we were inside the tent. But do you remember? I mean, this is like I can explain to the viewers though. Yeah, so I switched to rapid fire because my TrueD diversity module has given in. And when I put the rapid fire in my HDOs, the button doesn't line up to the cowling, so I can't press it to the left. Anyways, I sent an email to Immersion RC, and they're like, what? They don't understand how it's possible. I took a picture. The button's seated perfectly. So yeah, I'm gonna have to send it to Immersion RC, and they've got to figure out why the button's not seated in the right place. They said they've never seen it before, which is just my luck, isn't it?
Typical, isn't it? Can I just interrupt and say, what's his Jack doing?
Good question. I hadn't noticed.
He's making a sparkler sculpture, as far as
is it somebody's birthday?
I think this is just for Frank. Yeah, look, he's writing backwards. I think his washing machine's on, so he can't.
That's not that. No, never mind.
That's how the kids write it. Frank.
Dyslexic twat.
No, don't put
Fronk.
it there.
To be,
Frank.
to be
Frank.
fair, to be
Frank's
fair,
new name is Frank.
to be
Bonjour,
fair,
Frank.
I've seen him write worse the right way around, so I'm gonna give that
I
a
think
clap.
his washing machine's on, so he can't speak at the moment.
It'll gate out the washing
But
machine.
I'm just glad he's got something on his bottoms at the moment. To be fair. Sometimes he does this show without any on.
Oh yeah, Jack
Is he-
went to see
Oh, God,
Kevin Smith.
Oh,
he
now
about
he's got the
to-
WD-40. He's gonna light
Don't
that. isn't he,
spray that
now?
near the
Yeah,
candle,
no, he's
you
gonna
silly
he's gonna
git.
light his desk. Oh no, his wank socks come out. Oh God, this is getting
Dude.
bad.
This is
Hurry up!
unbelievable.
Can't you just pause your washing machine? Luckily, mine's
Try
got a
turning the
pause
sound on.
button.
This is how the whole
Yeah,
show's
because we
gonna
couldn't
be.
hear the washing machine before.
Turn the sound on and see what we can hear.
It's really going for it, boys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We
we can't
won't
hear
hear
it
it.
though.
All right, we
It's
can't
fine.
hear
We'll
it.
keep talking.
I've
No one
got
will
a
notice.
fan that is really loud and nobody's ever said anything. It gates it, you know.
I'm your fan. Look, I've got a picture of you on my t-shirt.
You have, look, everybody. Turn it.
Mm.
Oh, it's presenting to Jack. It's not. There we go.
There he is, Andy.
There you go.
Andy RC, everyone.
Yeah, a one-off T-shirts that
Yeah,
was
man.
made just for Tony.
That's it.
It's
Best
got
bud.
nothing to do with Back to the Future.
Best
Thank
buds.
you, Creature, for the artwork, obviously.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
For people who were following remotely and watched the Saturday live stream and then haven't caught up since then, because I mentioned and got rid of half our live audience and said
Yeah.
the guys out on the field were doing silly things with streamers and that kind of stuff. And yeah, that looked like a lot of fun. I'm a bit gutted to have missed that.
Technically, you didn't get rid of the live audience because it was streaming the audio out to the speakers.
Very
anyways.
true. Very true.
So we had a larger audience, anyways. Yeah.
Another person we should say thank you to. Well, there's a lot, but Fraser Monroe for sitting in that cabin for 2 days, doing the sound and stuff for everyone.
And being
Off his own back and
locked up waiting for us to need him to hit the stop button on the LDO.
So
Being forced to listen to it.
thanks, Fraser.
Thank you, buddy.
I've got to say, just on that flying with plane things, that's normally I'm all about hanging out and just chatting and stuff. But that is the one thing that I started feeling, oh man, I should have bought a quad because I wanted to chase jets around, and my batteries are definitely better than Jack's. Mine would stay above 12 volts when I tried chasing them around. That looked really good fun.
Is it NJ?
Oh, are we all here?
Woo! That's unheard
NJ's
of.
got a hat on.
Oh man, I should have sent a link to Adam. Is he still in our chat? Look at that PC. God, it's almost as sexy as he is.
I'm just going to apologise to Wayne because I know this gets his OCD going badly.
Mike,
You're giving us the profile view.
Mike,
I am NJ.
And
This
your
is
mic,
my good side.
and I don't think your mic's working very well.
It's
broken.
it's very quiet. Yeah, it just needs the volume lifting up.
Never normally quiet. This one's normally.
Give it a flick.
You can see NJ's glass of rum just to the side there.
I don't think it's working, you know.
No, we're not hearing you through that one. Are we on your headset, Mike?
Hold on.
Because that's up above your head.
That PC is a work of art. Anything NJ.
is he wearing a hat backwards?
Yeah,
Does he
what's
think
wrong?
he's Fred Durst or something?
Yeah, did you not see his latest video? The hat was backwards all the time. It was like
How
this
about
is
now?
how people.
There
There we go. That's the one. That's the one.
Gotcha.
Found it. I've
God,
only,
he's
I've
even
only got.
combs. Look at that. He's got
I've
combs
only got the.
in there.
Yeah, there are combs in there.
And
Yeah.
LED RAM. As if that makes it go any faster.
Well, it does a little bit. It is going at the speed of light. Oh dear.
Wow.
Yep. I went there. How is everyone?
I'm done. I'm out. Bye.
See ya.
We're just reminiscing about the weekend.
I wondered
to
if
be
we
fair.
might be reminiscing.
I was trying to fill people in on what they might have missed after the live stream.
Also, I wasn't there on the Sunday, so I'd like to know as well, please.
Oh, by the way, Tony,
Mhm.
don't you owe me? What was it? We agreed like £30 for putting you through to the finals of the freestyle.
Oh.
Did we talk about that yet? Or?
Oh,
we
was that
we haven't
was that
talked about
I'm
that.
kidding.
But I can send you some money.
No, that's brilliant, mate. I'm really glad you ended up winning. That's awesome.
I could see why people would call Fixto mini air show run by Frank, freestyle judged by NJ, somehow won by Tony. What a coincidence!
Oh, don't tell me that. That's a pride and joy on my mantelpiece at the moment.
Even I said something nice about you on my video, Tony.
Wow, that's incredible.
I said
flags out
with
the fixed wing
with
guys.
some regret I had to do it, but
the fixed wing guys specifically said you did a very impressive loop that they couldn't work out. Like they hadn't seen a quad do such a nice loop before, and they couldn't work out how you did it without having like aerofoils.
Yeah,
So,
this is why I think Tony deserved it, because for me, freestyle is all about aerobatics, not trying to do tricks through gates and stuff. And like it was just super smooth, and the fact that like it was an X class, you wouldn't have known it was an X class looking through the goggles because it was just so smooth, and so that's why you won for me.
I was trying to take the wind out of his sails, being like, "You only won because everyone else went home. You weren't having any of it." He didn't believe me. I was like, "Damn it!"
Can I just say though, NJ's like NJ's announcing that he was doing. Like it's almost like he's got a hidden past of being like a bingo caller or something. Because that was superb. That deserved a trophy as well. And everybody missed his best joke as well.
Yeah, I just want, as long as one person heard it and got it.
I heard it, but everybody was.
What was it?
Everybody was talking. What everybody was talking. Well, what was it? It was to do with it
was after. I think after Tony had done his first run, and I said something along the lines of proving once more it's not what you do with it, is how big it is. I was like, please say someone got it.
Well, it was weird because was there a toothpick entered? There
was a toothpick, which I just thought that was hilarious that we had a toothpick in the same. Yeah, which is again brilliant. That's a real kind of go freestyle thing, isn't it? Where just choose your weapon and go out and do your thing and see what happens.
That's it. After the disaster of the smoke grenades, what didn't happen, and took my X class out of the sky, which was a shame because we had tested it before and it worked. Well, it worked before, and it just reset my whole board after 15 seconds. And me and Martin from Fossil Stuff went back and we fixed it all in an hour, so it was all back up and running. We changed every single arm, swapped all the props, and come back to do the freestyle run. And I just thought, I'm just going to enter it into the freestyle. What the hell? I know how it flies. I'm going to try it.
Are the arms expensive? Or
£2 an arm.
Oh wow!
We went from having carbon arms, what were £10 an arm, to more or less the same. It was just £2, so it's a lot.
Didn't make a difference
cheaper.
then.
No,
really,
no, not
I
really.
suppose when it's bigger, then what is it, like aluminium then instead?
Yeah, just alley. Two alley. Yeah.
Cool. No, well deserved. Yeah. So Andy, Sunday, carry on. What happened?
The rest of Saturday evening was obviously some people might have seen some photos and a bit of video of Jack getting some more of these fireworks and strapping them to a quad.
That's going to be in my vid, yeah. A little bit of that.
And that looks fun as well. I missed that as well. I think I was still putting microphone stands
I was
away.
talking to Carlos, doing Borat impressions for some reason. I'm good. I missed that as well. It looked fun on the video though. Jack sent me the videos as well, so I could at least see it from that perspective.
And then the binary throttle tiny whoop stuff was anxiously being set up as we were still packing away, and that carried on. I think they said it carried on till like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah, I went up there about midnight, and there was some racing. It was really cold. Pardon me, Saturday night. I think the clouds had gone, and it started to get a bit frosty. But it was there was a few people racing up there, and they made such a cool little track. I tuned into the videos, and it was
they said
cool.
something about the smoke machine or something.
Well, they didn't need the smoke machine in there.
Well, they said no, but they said that it drastically reduces the temperature, and because I felt it, I was like, all of a sudden they had that smoke machine come on, and it just went freezing cold in there.
Yeah, every time they touch that smoke machine, the temperature would drop. But
I'm sure there's a reason, like a reason for it.
I was
scientific
gutted
reason.
to miss that because I had to go home, but I was itching to see how it all turned out and look at the footage. But they were still setting up when we they had about half an hour worth of setting up. Well, that was the estimate. Was it half an hour, or was it more like an hour?
They'd only been there since Thursday.
Yeah, they carry on building stuff until
it's unending development, isn't it? It's not like we're just going to put that there. It's like I'm just making this Arduino board and I'm going to solder this here, and I'll just write some code quickly so I can do some things from my phone.
I think also we might have gotten their way a little bit of their important time of setting up, perhaps as well. So
I'm sure we didn't help.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
I totally cucked Gav.
It was so nice not racing this year. I mean, I enjoyed watching the racing rather than being in it. You had so much more time to say hello to people and just enjoy yourself. So I'm probably
especially this year. I mean, I have put out this survey, and from the early
I love that. I really it was my favourite bit reading that message.
Yeah, man.
So
I know what you mean.
The early response from the survey was, "Oh God, there was so much racing. We were dead halfway through the second day. Please save us." So
can you tell us how this was slightly different last year?
So last year it was, why haven't we got more racing? There wasn't enough racing. We need more racing.
There's
Give
no
us more
pleasing
racing.
some people, is there?
No, obviously not.
So it's we've got the two extremes, so we can get the balance now.
Yeah, it's all
talking of balance.
It's good. Those little racers, I would have been whipping them. Race more.
This is what you wanted.
Yeah, no one leaves the cage unless
Are you thinking about just doing a racing for one day next time, Frank? Or
we'll see. There's some pretty big questions that haven't been answered yet, so it's all. I
want to know. My question is: next year, can I just buy a portion of chips without having to buy a veggie burger?
What?
That is a tough question for the person that's not in charge of catering.
I was going to say, I don't think that's
#Chipgate.
That's not.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I was just like, can I have chip butty? No. You need to have chips. You need to buy a burger. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I don't.
So you had to spend £7 to get a packet of chips.
But it's the case with all events, that because
they want to make money and
they
stuff,
know they're the only source of food.
Yeah,
they can
exactly.
up the prices and do what they want.
I saw a haggle over 50p for an egg.
I saw Jack negotiating with the owner to take over the business.
And
what did you suggest directly to the utterly startled woman's face? You were going to call the business, Jack?
Who was shall we say was probably approaching a 60s, would you say? 50s,
yeah.
Can I call the business slutty sausages?
Yeah. It's just, you've got this amazing thing where you can just immediately engage with people, lull them into this false sense of security by offering them a really sensible conversation in which you had a little bit of knowledge about catering. I thought, well, this is going very well. And then you say, yes, and I'm going to call it slutty sausages. At which point she just looked at you a little bit disgusted, a little bit confused, and then just walked away.
That's what most people do, right?
Just left the booth, just left and just went.
Jack even helped to refill the tomato sauce thing. Like, he was like working for them for a little bit. And then, did she say we're selling the business or something?
Yeah.
They're retiring.
They're retiring. So
I think they
so
just moved the retirement date forward after that last comment.
there's your answer then, Toe. Next year, maybe you can just get the chips.
Not just sell chips.
From slutty sausage, chips for everyone.
Can you imagine just Jack there doing
As long
the
as you
catering
buy a
next
sausage.
year?
Edie's bar.
Meanwhile, whilst all the tiny whipping was going on, Andy was coming up with a sausage holder.
Oh yeah. Well,
You might want to add context to this.
That's quite it's quite a reference, that, isn't it? Is there a video of it somewhere though?
There must be a video of it
no,
somewhere.
that somebody was. It was Tony.
Tony was
live streaming on
I
Instagram.
was live streaming on Instagram.
Well, after the show, because they were still setting up the Tiny Whoop stuff, we went down to Fossils Stuff's tent, right?
Yeah.
And Jack had got a barbecue going, and
Jack was the master of meat that evening.
And then
you guys ate 40 quid's worth of meat in one day, by the way.
That was good.
There was a lot of people there, though. To be fair.
Do we have a photo of Andy's custom sausage holder?
So why did that happen? Was there no plates? Or
no.
Jack pretended there was no buns.
No one ever asked me about buns.
That was it. Yeah, I said.
No one said nothing about buns.
Bums. You're always talking about bums.
I was going to say that was pretty much
Slutty sausage. We'll put the sausage in your bum.
Well, okay. So Joker FPV, who had a very bad headache, but very kindly brought some donuts around. And Jack's there saying the sausages are ready, and I'm like, "Have you got any plates?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh well, I'll just stick my sausage through the hole of the donut." And it worked, But then 10 minutes later, after I've eaten it, he brings out buns, and I'm like, "Jack, why didn't you offer me a bun?"
But then you still kept on eating sausages and donuts, so you can't blame Jack.
To be fair, the sugar and the sausage, it worked. It was like it's a new delicacy I've come up with. It did look quite, shall we say, phallic. Like,
is that a Popham sausage then?
A Popham sausage.
Popham sausage.
Yeah, Popham sausage.
Oh, yeah.
Just pop it in. Pop it in your donut. Pop it in your donut, and you got a Popham sausage.
This is why Tony's going to outlive us all. In fact,
More than likely.
Good. I want him to be miserable and alone.
I ain't going to be miserable without you, Jack.
So quick.
But
quick with the banter.
I'm done. Bye.
So these donuts that Joker Vision came around.
It's repeated in the chat already. I think it's a thing. The Popham sausage is now a thing.
Oh god,
a Popham sausage. Yeah.
Someone's
shouting. Someone's put Diddy as well. I've just read.
Don't even.
Oh god,
I never heard the N word so much in all my life.
Oh god.
Wow. Yes, that was quite the evening.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it, when you get to 30s and 40s, when 20-year-olds come over and laugh at everything, you just like, yeah, I'm older than you now. It's not funny anymore.
Where was the pub, Frank? Dave Story says.
Good bloody question.
Yeah, what happened to the pub?
They flaked out on us, and they screwed up their license essentially.
They lost a lot of money then.
They did lose a lot of money.
To be fair, there was no shortage of alcohol. Somehow.
There was no shortage of anything there.
That's true. Yeah.
Tony has got a point there.
There was a very earthy scent, shall we say, throughout the flight line.
Yes.
Are we allowed to talk about this, Frank?
It was
not.
Because I was just standing there and people were like, have this. And then you lose hours of your life.
I was. Yeah.
I did tell some people to leave. I'll leave it at that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was so bad. When I got back on Monday, I accidentally got run over by a bus. I've got like
Well, it didn't do it properly, did it?
Oh my god.
I don't think we're going to be able to cover everything in an hour today, guys. Honestly, there's like so much that's happened and went on.
Okay, highlights of Sunday.
Biplanes. They started off.
Biplanes, yeah.
Walking past Fraser, he looked really oriental.
That's
He's-
racist.
Wow.
I'm sure you can't
Okay.
do that anymore, Tony. Just
You can't. Right.
Sorry.
Do not condone, does not reflect the show.
This does not reflect the views of the host, especially Tony.
Yeah.
He's an old man and it's
He
racist.
just, yeah.
Is
I'm,
it
not,
possible
I'm
to get
so
LDO?
not racist. It's I'm like the opposite of racist.
can we?
Tony really loves interracial. I just want to put it out there.
You should look at his search history. That's all there is.
That is
going
what
out.
does it for
We're
him.
going out and we're getting LDO disclaimer tattoo.
Yes.
The only safe thing to do.
Right, Andy, biplanes, Dawn Patrol. Is that where
Dawn
we
Patrol.
were going?
Yes. And they went up and did quite a few nice displays. They categorically did the coda of the show with a minor malfunction that ended up with a large crowd of people trying to fish a plane out of a tree.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but everything all worked out in the end.
Can you name some of the chaps? Because I know some of the chaps in Dawn Patrol. I'm just thinking who turned up.
I didn't actually get to meet them, so
I didn't
I don't know.
That's a shame. Yeah, because we got to meet a lot of the MWM guys. Those guys were awesome.
I have to say,
Were
the
they the
flying-
guys who were pissed? Right,
Yes.
proper drunk, laying on the floor while
not
each
all-
of them were taking photos of each other, and then flew at 8 o'clock in the morning.
How they were walking, let alone flying,
know.
I don't know.
Not all of them.
Why
should
do
we
they feel
say.
the need to kick and punch each other in the bollocks? That's what I don't
Well,
understand.
Jack, can I just interrupt you there? Because do you not remember what happened between you and Frank during the live stream? You smacked him in the face, and then you recommended that if he does it next year, that it's a kick in the balls.
Yeah,
so
but
I
that's
don't.
going to be great footage to kick in the balls.
He's not allowed. I told
Come
him
into a cinema,
he's-
near you.
if he's doing it, he's not, because I'm handcuffing him to something.
We actually, I thought we agreed that not only would Jack get to kick in the balls, but we could all line up and take a crack at it each.
See,
Yeah,
I
man.
don't remember this.
Yeah, it was in the
Yeah,
chat.
I
It was agreed.
It was definitely agreed. However, despite that, I think Andy should do it next year because it was just amazing.
The only way he survives not getting handcuffs with the what's the word, provisions or presivo or
We don't know. You're just
Proviso?
making nonsense
Yeah,
words.
I think Jack's still suffering
That's an
from.
actual word I can't.
I think Jack's still suffering from that edible by the sounds of it.
Gav's like, eat this, and then 2 hours later,
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
I am actually fucked.
You took something from Gav? Jeez, you
I
can't
know.
even. You
All
shouldn't
you
even
have to do is stand
be
near
too close
Gav
to
when
his
you're up
van.
there.
I mean, gummy bears. They seem like they wouldn't be dangerous, wouldn't they?
I mean, Gav's got sweets. He's got a oh no. Now my bumhole's got a drawstring on it. No, I was like chatting to you, and then I stood up, and I was like, "Oh my god, I am so fucked."
Honestly,
Sorry,
it was a
swearing.
really nice event for anyone listening. It wasn't anything like this for everyone.
No, as far as I can tell, I left and it turned into Sodom and Gomorrah after that point.
It did, but that's because people stopped flying and started drinking.
Started misbehaving.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm not sure they stopped flying.
Yeah, but is it?
Yeah.
Perhaps we shouldn't go there.
Frank.
Yeah.
And
But
some bunch of idiots set a quad on fire with fireworks and flew it around. Oh, that was us as well. wasn't it?
That was also, yeah.
So basically, the LDO lot are terrible louts that shouldn't be allowed anywhere.
I know.
It does
I
rather
second that.
does rather seem that way. Someone said about the RC jets. I was absolutely flabbergasted to find out that I think it was the winning jet, wasn't it? He said it was roughly £17,000 of investment that he was throwing around the sky like nobody's business. I think it was £3,000 just for the engine.
Also, when anybody tells you 17 grand, it's a lie. It's way more than that.
The price I told my wife.
Yeah, exactly.
To be fair, it was his business, so he didn't pay retail. But he said if you had to buy it, it would cost that much. But the average price for one of those jets was at least 10 grand. I was amused by the sort of couple where I asked them. It was the Diamond, the guys I spoke to there, the big pointy one that looked like a spaceship.
Yeah.
And I was saying about is this tends to fly, because he was saying it was 10 grand, but don't worry, we didn't all buy it at once. We bought this bit first, then we bought that bit later. And I was like, how can you just have a fuselage to do nothing with? But it was quite interesting because you sort of learn there's a different level to flying, because he described it as a pussycat. Because I said, did you have like a real squeaky bum the first time you flew it? And he said, no, it was all right, because these guys don't just go, I think I'm going to start flying jets. They build up and up and up and up. So by the time they get there, not only are their builds absolutely immaculate, because we looked inside those things and they were beautiful, but
they
flying skills
carbon
are
covered
out of
stuff.
this world.
This is how I know the price that they were quoting is bullshit, because, sorry for swearing, I got a friend who bought a trainer. So like your very first jet, it cost 10 grand. Is the smallest, cheapest thing that he could build, 10 grand. So there's no way, I'm sorry, unless some corners were cut or sponsors or whatever, I don't buy those figures.
Well, we were flying our Tranuses with our quads about, what are they, 200 quid, and their TXs were like 3 grand.
The jetties,
yeah, the jetty controllers were.
And they're power box systems and like batteries for each servo, and
4 fail safes.
Oh yeah, we pretty much worked out that the servo using a jet, Tony could stand on it and it would lift him up and down.
Yeah,
I'm willing to next year get in one.
It genuinely
probably
does
would
have that kind of talk. But the thing, going back to the jetty radios, to be honest with you, if you'd spent 20 grand on your model, you're not going to be trusting it to an R9 FreeSky protocol. It's going to be something that's very good.
A lot of people wouldn't trust their quad with that.
Yeah, exactly.
At the moment. No, Jetty had been around for a while, and I think he did say it was sponsored, but that was a pretty interesting.
I think he was sponsored as well, because when we went to and Andrew / Frank went to give him the trophy for the Concourse Excellent, thinking he was going to shake his hand and hand him a trophy. It was so funny because he's like, I've had my photo taken before. He just took the trophy off Frank, put it in front of his plane, put his like jetty pack in front of there, held the wing up, and did the pose, and then he would accept a handshake from Frank. It's like, this is how you pose for a plane. It did look good, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think it's really weird.
It flew the smoothest, and it put on a great display. And for me,
keeping it in that field, I just
to put it in perspective as well, because my wife and daughter came up for an hour or two, and they actually arrived right at the lull moment, because it was just after Tony's X-Class had gone wrong, and she's like, "What's happening?" I was like, "Well, kind of nothing at the moment." But once the turbine went up, even because they're not really interested in stuff I do, they were just there to humour me. But seeing a turbine fly about, they were really excited about it. They thought, this is amazing. I mean, my wife thought, because she's an insurance person, when this kills somebody, it's going to be a mess in planes and stuff. But they were still pretty excited by it. So even normal punters that aren't interested, seeing those things fly is on another level.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's the spectacle of it, and that's what quads missing, isn't it?
That's why we need more X-Class.
And do you know what? Even though X-Class is amazing, the first thing when you put the X-Class against the jets, it makes just the X-Class look like a normal 5-inch in comparison. It needs to go bigger. The first thing I thought when I got back was, how do we make like something bigger than an X-Class? Like, I'm talking something the size of that jet that's carbon molded.
VTEC engine.
Can we get that guy from Sweden and he built in his garden to fly around in?
he did it with like so he could sit on it. But I'm thinking,
I like Jack's idea of an IC powered and like the Stingray, with the belts.
Yeah,
just bigger.
Yeah, I always thought
engine.
I always thought if a full size version came out that someone would sit in and it'd be like a consumer thing. That's how they do it, but it's not. The Uber, the China Uber one.
You'd probably get more points though if I could strap Jack in and then do a freestyle.
I'm really fat though.
Few engines.
So next year is see if Jack dies in this thing.
We haven't even got like halfway through Sunday yet, because Jack had his like after having like done almost no announcing on Saturday, and just like
poor performance there.
God,
sorry,
letting the side down, and then still having the LDO show, that he was, that was the deal. It was like if you do the announcing, then you get to do the LDO
I've done
show.
some announcing.
He did like 3 announcements. And
well,
then
I did no announcing, so he did better than me. And when he went on the microphone, he didn't say anything disgusting at all.
This is very true.
So well done, Jack.
Small mercies.
Yeah.
Then
could have talked about how sexy NJ was.
Sunday afternoon, the MWM guys were like, "We really enjoyed last night and having all the quads chase our planes. Do you want to do that again now when the racing isn't happening?" And like, all right, I'll just see who's around, so who wants to have a go. So obviously Jack's like, yes,
it's right up your trouser leg.
And then Jack turned up, and I'm not kidding, guys. Mr. Steel territory flying, no joke. When you see this,
mate, my balls were like inside me.
When I saw that footage, when I saw the footage, I was like, "This is immense. This is nuts." And then I thought, so some of the MWM guys, we kind of swapped really. I think we were interested in what they were doing. They were interested in what we were doing. It's quite difficult to get that, and talking to those guys was really important. And one of the MWM guys was like, "Oh, I want like what's a good quad setup?" And because so I was chatting to him and that, and I was saying, he said I was the guy flying the big yellow plane, and I was like, "Oh man, you're not gonna believe that when you see this video that's gonna come out. I'll show it to you. You're not gonna believe." And then this is what quads can do. And I think that those two combinations of the quad flying around those big. What's great about it as well is because the models are so big. Like when you chase another quad, it's just a little dot. Even X class, we could chase it and get closer. But because these models are massive, you actually don't need to get that close, and it looks just amazing. So, more of that next year, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon so.
As long as they're okay, because if there's an incident, they stand to lose a lot more than us.
So what are you going to do, Frank? Are you going to do like Saturday racing, Sunday, just free for all?
I can't say anything at the moment because literally there's so many different possibilities at the moment.
Next year, I'm definitely bringing my nitro helicopter.
Yeah.
Because I still have some 30% nitro fuel, and you can't buy 30% nitro fuel anymore. So I've still got an outrageously high mix.
How much water has it got in it by now?
Jack to present Jack. Can we get him to drink it as well?
I've tried that stuff. It's horrible.
Jack, you're giving away all the good stuff.
Look at that.
A little bit.
This is a little slideshow preview.
Yeah, a little teaser.
You were lucky doing that. I should have gone.
I was when I saw this footage, I was so jealous. I was like, I want my name to this, but no.
Next year.
I missed. I stuffed up the little tail drag.
Didn't matter because I've got a better ending.
Like I said, that's the one thing I got really jealous about, because it's like, I didn't bring a quad with me. I could have been flying with those guys. I didn't know that was on the table.
I don't think anyone else did.
No, I bought 3 quads, but on the Saturday, I think, yeah, I mean, it's like you say, it's an evolution, you know. If we'd have known that those guys would have been up for that, then we could have done it on the Saturday, and more people.
I wanted you to enter the freestyle competition.
Yeah, I just, I don't know. I don't think I think I'd have crapped under the pressure. You know, I'm not good.
It is hard. It is hard when there's people watching you.
Like even
you've been in good company. I mean, one of the things that because I'm doing a video on this as well as everybody is, and one of the things I said about the racing and about just generally flying is there is no barrier to entry. So, you know, a bunch of the freestyle guys crashed out, but they gave it a good go. And with the racing, it was like I talked to a couple of guys, and I was like, "How are you getting on?" He's like, "This is my very first race." But I think I got all right. I've got 1 lap so far out of my various tries, and they can all go in their category. And at the top of the category, where there's like X Blaze and Send Nudes and all those guys, they're racing around doing like 20-second laps. The other guys are trying to get a minute lap or just a lap, and it's all good. Everybody can race around together.
That's exactly what it's like. That's exactly why I like the mini air show, because you can be someone well known and someone not so well known and still have a good time.
Yeah,
and enjoy yourself.
The thing is, I'm well known, but I'm not a great pilot, which is why I didn't.
Of course you are. I've got a T-shirt what says you are.
That doesn't sound a great pilot, and
that's on the back.
I could just see, like, you know, I'm my own like biggest critic, and I was just like, if I stuff this up, then people are just gonna love it. You know, because you know, so that's what I really wanted to have a go though, and people didn't care. I think as well in the freestyle competition there was like pressure to perform, and I think that's why you know, people were crashing and stuff. They were really pushing it, and I'd have done the same, to be honest. So that again, and Tony, I think, was probably I've got this wrong, but the only one that actually landed.
I didn't crash, thank God.
Again, well deserved from Tony, I think. Yeah,
thank you.
And NJ's commentary, brilliant. Like, just he's something is not something is not telling us there. It's
so
got
the
a
last thing you should do is leave me with a microphone. I was like, well.
Dude, it was amazing. You did so well.
Is that a suggestion for next year?
Oh God,
Andy, I think you should commit to entering it next year, and if you do, I will too. And
there you go.
We can both crash out and look stupid then.
Okay, yeah.
Damn it, he took the bait. I was just bluffing. Do it.
Also, how nice was it meeting everyone who's in the chat? It was like Richard Warwick from the chat. It's so-and-so from the chat. It was Batwoman from the chat. Ladders. It was so good seeing everyone actually
Batwoman
putting a face, you know, to the chat. It was really nice seeing everyone and them coming up and saying hello and stuff. It was that was really good for me. I really enjoyed chatting to people and saying hello to everyone.
Yeah, and I should say as well, they all took great footage because I've been scouring, because I didn't take any footage, but you know, I wanted to make a video, so they all stepped up and sent me their footage, which I'll be giving them credit for, of course. But yeah, they got some great footage of the day as well. So yeah, well done to you guys for that as well. It's gonna help promote, but also show how good the show was as well.
And they're also nice as well. Ladders was lovely.
Ladders got us all loads of biscuits. That was amazing. Well, I think he got you biscuits and then we ate them all, but they were amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, and there was some rice and hot sauce and
curry for everyone, and yeah, it's good lad, that boy.
Oh yeah, the naan bread and the rice, that was lovely. That was really good.
Brilliant.
Like the one thing I must say is there was a great sense of, like, you know, like, it's been ages since I felt that sort of like community thing.
Yeah.
And you're around all your friends and people who you don't know, like, know you. And,
but it felt like friends, didn't it?
Yeah, like, you know, and you could just, you know, say, can anyone help me? And like, there would be like 5 people. you know, you just start doing something and people would help you.
Or
Yeah.
give
Like,
you a gummy bear.
yeah. Or just, you
Which
know,
also helps you, but by the way.
yeah, like if you look bored, someone would come and offer you something. you know, it was the only thing that show was missing was strippers, and we know why there wasn't any, because they all spent their money on planes.
Wow.
Next year, Frank, strippers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you do want to get involved for next year, the sign up for more info on the volunteering.
I seen a Facebook group already that says Mini Air Show 6, so something's going on.
There is an event on Facebook. If you go to facebook.com/mini air show, then there is the event for MA6 is already set up. But if you do want to get involved in the volunteering, then the link for that is bit.ly/I want MA6, I think, but I can't remember if there's any hyphens or not in that one. Hold on a second.
You need to find it and then paste it into the chat, Frank. That's how it works.
Yep, I will do.
Fruity Cake says, "Where's Frank been sticking his finger?" I can answer that. He's been self-harming ever since the show finished.
How is your finger, Frank?
It's looking all right. I mean, it's.
What have you done to
Tell
it?
them what happened.
I managed to not hit my finger with a mallet, but I caught it on the pointy bit on the fence stake and sliced it open. So I just kind of like, it was one of those situations where you see the bit of you shouldn't be seeing and go, oh, that's not right.
The white bit, you mean?
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's going to hurt soon. I should probably do something about that.
Did you have to go hospital, A&E then, or
no? I just walked over to my went over to my car and tied it all up and just sorted it out when I got home. But yeah, bit.ly/I-want-MA6, capital MA6. So yeah, if you want to get involved in this,
can you paste it, copy paste it somewhere?
Yes,
do that.
We should probably make the if it's already been said or not, but it's just being discussed in the chat, and Curry Kitten's just pointed out Lurgy won the
yes, he was a lovely guy as well. He was.
Yeah, what you were doing with the the woovers and all the other cool stuff you were making, and
I've got my cutout ready to do my little wing.
One of them.
You don't want this one yet. It's just paper at the moment.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Where did you get that from? Why don't I have one?
It's on Thingiverse. As Luke explained, Badass Drones.
Is that just paper then?
This is just paper. This is my template, and then you cut around, and then you put your little whoop in, and you're
I
good
could
to
actually fly that line of sight as well.
Me too.
Lurgy was doing a load of scratch building really with loads of kids, putting together some tiny woovers and some of these tiny wings using the EO10s. So we between Mini Air Show and Lurgy, we had about 14 EO10s between us. We thought, we'll probably go through 10, and we went through them all about 2/3 of the way through the event. So
more of them next year.
That was a massive hit. Definitely a real highlight of the show, and great work. Definitely need to see some more of that.
Yeah,
expand that to be more of a feature, I think.
Yeah. But I do want to, before we end, I want to massively thank Menace and Greg for coming out in the middle of December and doing the FPV RF survey and making sure that we all had nice video on the racing track, which meant that I heard not a peep out of the races on Saturday because they were far too busy racing.
Yep,
enjoying it.
Cheers, always a good sign.
Well,
shame Greg wasn't there. I tried his Thrasher antenna out at the weekend. Awesome.
Also to KQRC, so Alex and Louis, and to Scott of Drone Base for planning and setting up and running the race control. Again, did it all? I didn't hear anything. I was starting to get worried.
Oh, We've lost Frank.
Frank got overexcited. And
I thought
broke
it
his
was
internet.
me, so I'd lowered my
What?
HD down to naught.
We lost you for a second, Frank. Are you not downloading anything or anything? Bandwidth struggles. Carry on.
Okay.
But go back about 3 seconds there.
Someone got murdered down the road.
Yeah, someone shot a fiber out. KQRC and Drone Base did a massively fantastic job of running race control. But I also want to thank all the volunteers. So obviously Fraser Monroe for doing a lot of the PA and AV stuff.
Well done, Fraser. Can we have a little clap quick?
Good job, man. Good job.
Also, I want to quickly run down. So Andrea, who is in the chat, for doing all the website things whenever I kept breaking the website and doing a load of stuff, and because I'm an idiot.
Thank you.
David Allen for running around and checking all the camping tickets, and for doing quite a lot else besides. Ed for doing all the nice videos.
Yeah, well done, Ed.
From last year and making nice promos for this year.
Which I've used, by the way, in my video. But yeah, incredible.
Art for being able to be there to run the freestyle, but also keeping Fraser from completely and utterly running himself into the ground and helping out with all the audio stuff and helping out with a load of other stuff as well. I mean, everyone's been helping out with loads of things. Chris G, I mean, keeping the sim running all that time. And again, setting up all the flags and the gates and all the planning beforehand and all the clearing up afterwards. Lurgy, we've already mentioned.
Man of the hour.
Thank you very much. And that was a great thing in the marquee with all the tiny woovers and whoops and stuff. Ladders. I mean,
Car park genius.
Car park genius gave me a roof over my head and helped out with loads of other stuff as well.
What a lovely man he was.
And stayed right to the end, clearing stuff up.
It makes you wish you were a bird so you could marry him.
Yeah.
Also the jackets. Ladders got us the jackets, and they were amazing jackets. I was very grateful.
Yeah.
But in the evenings, when it got a bit cold, those were amazing.
Agreed.
Who else we got? Thomas Shapland, Adam Juniper, Phil Wipers, Fraser Steen for getting us the lovely weather by bringing the umbrellas and all the sorting out of other things and helping out with the sponsorship outreach and for the Coleman shelters and just everything else that he was helping out with. Dan Smith for running he got along he got along all the planes and things and got them all running and kept them running throughout the day, and Paul Murray as well. So thank you all volunteers. Hope I haven't missed anyone out. I'm pretty sure that's the list.
Yeah. We've said Garrett, Gavin Perry, Gavin.
God's sake, yes. Yeah. And Dave.
I don't thank him. I lost hours of my life.
Special thanks to Gav, just for screwing with Jack.
But yeah. Good. So you can get. I'll also drop the link to MA6 as well. Should anyone have been convinced by this chat that they want to come along to that next year?
Hopefully.
I know a lot of people that want to come to it.
But
already,
special thanks to you, Frank.
Yeah.
Well done for Frank.
Golf clap.
Thank you.
Deserve that, buddy.
Did you find it a bit less stressful this year, Andy?
So much less stressful.
Well, that in that case, you have to do next year.
Yeah.
I enjoyed being at this event, which I think that's the first mini air show where I've actually enjoyed being there. Like usually I enjoy the payoff at the end when it's like it's done and I look back at it.
And
but I actually enjoyed being there this year.
You hear from people how much they enjoyed it, but you actually enjoyed it while you were there.
So look at the chat. It's going mad with the clapping.
Yay.
Yay.
Even though you did get slapped in the face. That's saying something.
And
yeah,
it was
but next year it's a kick in the balls.
Well,
From everybody.
I survived the slap in the face because I had something else distracting me. So I don't know what I'll do about the kick in the balls. I'll have to chop an arm off or something.
I've
or
already.
get a cup.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, we can't mess up the little Franks.
Stop giving.
Yeah, we need them for MI 2025 million.
There was one thing I wanted to ask Andy. Those beers that I didn't know were 8% until I finished them.
They were good, weren't they?
Where did you get them from? I loved them.
The secret sauce.
You said there was a runner. Though that's not good enough because I need to buy some.
They come from Belgium.
I can't go that far.
Just to let you know, that 8% got him in the middle of a car park, dogging late at night till 4 in the morning.
Can I clarify that? Or should we leave
No.
Leave
It will
it
be
as
covered in the bonus episode. Hopefully, I can talk to you guys into doing a bonus episode after this.
After Mini Air Show 5, I did end up in a car park for 5 hours.
Yep.
Wow.
$3 on the Let's Drone Out.
If that's
Patreon.
not a reason to go to Patreon,
You should have just stayed till Sunday.
Well, in hindsight, it's easy to say that, isn't it? You know, after you've been
Arrested.
I'm
raped in
waiting
a
for
car.
I'm waiting for my speeding ticket after I lent Tony my car.
Well, I couldn't speed in that, Jack. It's only got 3 cylinders.
It's got 4.
No, okay.
If I change the spark plug.
I tried to get you a ticket. I don't know if I succeeded to get to Starbucks at 80.
Jack's car's lovely. I was well impressed.
I actually
Well
quite
better
like
than
the
mine.
gearbox, though. It was quite a nice gearbox.
Yeah,
But
he
when
loves
Jack
a
got
good
back-
old knob in the hand.
When you got back in, it was like everything was out of.
My face is like pressed to the
Against
windscreen.
window.
And then I look in the rearview mirror and it's pointing at my dick.
I moved everything to see. You're like, oh, that's well. Thanks for lending it to me anyway.
Yeah, that was the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah. All right, guys, should we call it there?
I think that would be wise.
No worries. Thank you. You've been listening to Let's Drone Out. Everything said here may or may not reflect of what actually did happen at Mini Air Show. We are not liable. We're all gobshites, and no children or animals were harmed except Tony
I was harmed.
and Frank. Frank got a good old slap about.
Mentally, yes, he got a mass. That was a proper slap. I've had a slap like that before, and my face was red for weeks. So I don't know how he survived that.
Practice.
Is it?
Practice, like he just did, slapping himself. Like
He's well into that. Tony's into, you know.
I want to see a training montage of some kind. Like,
yeah.
The training montage should be the kicking the balls.
Wow.
You need to do that. You know, there's no Chinese people suck them right
I
up
was
in
just
there.
gonna
You need
say
to.
that.
That's racist,
Wow,
Tony.
not
You need to-
again.
Oh, what's
Racist
that? Sounds
Tony.
like racist. It's true.
Well, it's
Come
not.
on, tell us where taxi drivers keep taking Chinese people when they come here again.
Harold.
There we go.
Oh, God.
It's not China. It's not.
End the
Look,
show.
I'm
End
not
the
even
show.
racist. I
Oh
love
my God.
everyone.
I can't.
Emergency,
You're in
stop.
charge. I've got controls. Cosmo, FBV, contact me. I want to build a shop so we can actually do some merchandise because loads of people who
Wanted
came
merch.
up to me and was like, "I want to buy stuff." I even
Oh,
stole the
who's
T-shirt I was
right?
wearing.
I told you ages ago we should need
All right, yes,
merch.
you were right.
Yeah.
All right,
Got any
thank you
gear?
and good night.
Bye.
all
We
right.
are